محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم.
I'm honored to be here in this Masjid of World Islamic Mission, Masjid Noor-UL-Haram, and I have always heard about this Masjid by Huzur Mufakkir Islam, Allama Qabr-Zamah Azmi. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them a long life. Alhamdulillah, I have the honor of being in the company of Huzur Mufakkir Islam for the past 18 years, and whenever I get chance, I lead Jummah prayers in their masjid. But wherever I am, on Friday, I lead prayers behind Huzur Mufakkir Islam, if I'm not leading prayers there. And I sit in their company for an hour or 2 hours. And alhamdulillah, the wisdom that we get from them and the understanding of deen that we get from these ulama, alhamdulillah, is unparalleled. And I consider myself very lucky to get this faiz from Huzur Mufakkir Islam. And one thing I would like to tell you, and I'm sure you already know, that Huzur Mufakkir Islam is always relentlessly working for the sake of deen, day and night. Okay? He is so busy, even at this age, that every weekend they're away. Okay? And they travel so much around the world. It's unbelievable. For me to travel once to Canada, it's like I'm still tired. But alhamdulillah, I don't know how they do it, and they go to far away places. And the good thing is, anyone who comes to them and they say, Huzur, are you free on this day? And he will look at his diary, no matter who the person is, from the smallest person to the biggest sheikh, okay, they all come to the masjid. And they say, okay, yeah, I'm free, I'll come to your house, to your mehfil, whatever. Big mehfil, small mehfil, nothing is too big or nothing is too small. So alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them a long and healthy life.
Amen.
Inshallah, we've got a few minutes, so I would like to enlighten you regarding something which I consider very profound. Any masjid I go to, first I always start off with this bayan because I feel it is so important and people are lacking so much in this respect. For our younger generation, younger brothers, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most just. Allah ta'ala is fair. But this life is not fair, is it? Some people have it all. Some people have nothing. Some people are so well off. Some people can barely make ends meet. Some people are so healthy. Some people are always sick. They're always running in and out of the hospital, right? Some people have children and they grow, they flourish, mashallah. Some people have not been given any children. On the face of it, you would think that this life is unfair. And if there was only this life, then it certainly would be unfair. But how can it be when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most fair? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most just. So how can it be that it would end at this life, which is unfair, right? And so there is another life to balance things out, okay? And this is why it is so important for us to understand that the belief in the hereafter, the belief in the akhirah, the belief in the other life gives us support. If anything is lacking in our life in this world, alhamdulillah, we believe that it doesn't matter. There is another life where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will compensate. For example, it is stated that a person who does not have eyes, right? He did nothing to deserve that. But he does not have eyes. Both his eyes have been taken away, or he was born blind. And here we have eyes, okay? So that doesn't look fair, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, because I took away his eyes in this world, I will compensate him with Jannah in the other world. He will get Jannah for that. To the extent the Prophet ﷺ said, a goat, an animal which has horns, right? And there are animals which doesn't have horns. So the animals which has horn in their own kingdom, they might be showing off to the other animals, look, I've got horns, and you're bald in that respect. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah will compensate those animals which did not have a horn in the hereafter. This is the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whatever situation we are in, we need to thank Allah ta'ala, and we need to believe, and we need to have this conviction that inshallah the other life will compensate for everything that we are lacking in this life. Inshallah. Right? But where we go wrong is we don't fulfill the rights of people. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so just and fair that, say if I did something wrong to you, and if I seek forgiveness to Allah, Shab-e Barat just went, and we were all seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say that you did wrong to that person, you are seeking forgiveness from me. If I directly forgive you, then what about him? What's going to happen to that person? Right? So you first go and seek forgiveness from that person. If he forgives, then you will see that I will forgive too.
Subhanallah.
Is that right? And in this respect, there's a profound hadith, okay? And there is a story about this person. The Prophet ﷺ asked the companions that, who is muflis? Who is a person who is bankrupt? A person who is broke, okay, in financial terms. And the Sahaba said, as we would have said, a person who does not have money is muflis. A person who does not have money is poor or broke. But the Prophet ﷺ said, no, that is not the case. On the day of judgment, a person will come and he will have plenty of good deeds. And he is so confident to go to Jannah. By the way, nobody will go to Jannah because of their deeds. One person will come, another story, but I want to tell you, one person will come and he will say, Allah Ta'ala will say, oh, send him to Jannah with my favor, with my mercy. And the person will say, Ya Allah, why your mercy? I have all the good deeds. I'm going because of my good deeds. Why are you saying your mercy? Allah Ta'ala will say, alright, you think you are going to Jannah because of your deeds? Well, bring him back. So Allah Ta'ala will call him back. And Allah Ta'ala will ask the angels, measure one ni'mat against all his good deeds. So they will take one eye, a ni'mat of one eye, and they will put on one side of the scale, and all his good deeds on the other side of the scale. And that one eye, that one favor of Allah would be a lot heavier than all his good deeds put together. Now Allah Ta'ala will say, you did not even pay for one ni'mat of mine. Never mind going to Jannah with your own deeds. Put him to Jahannam, but then he will plead, Ya Allah, I'm sorry. I did not realize. Then Allah Ta'ala will say, okay, now put him to Jannah. He's realized, okay? So this person comes and he's so confident he's going to go to Jannah because he's got bags and bags of deeds, right? Now, as he is going towards Jannah, there will be people who will intercept him, who will stop him. One person will come in and say, he owed me money and never paid it back. Allah Ta'ala will say, pay him. But what do you pay him with then? Because you don't have money then. The only currency on that day is deeds. Either good deeds or bad deeds. This person owed him a few $1,000s or whatever, but there you can't pay with money, so you're paying with your deeds. So he paid him off. Then another person would come. Oh, he said something to me. He hurt me. Allah Ta'ala will say, compensate him. You hurt him? Compensate. Nowadays, we are so careless about this. We hurt people with our actions. We hurt people with our sayings, with our speech, and we don't bother about it. We don't care about it. But if we have harmed them, Allah Ta'ala has recorded it through His angels, and we will have to compensate. And that is why we have to be very careful of our actions and our speech. The hadith which I recited, in that the Prophet ﷺ states that a Muslim is the one with whose hands and speech other Muslim is protected.
Allah.
Nowadays we do things, we don't bother about how the other person feels. We say things, we don't bother about how the other person feels. That person is hurt. Maybe he doesn't say anything, maybe she doesn't say anything, but in the heart they feel, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recorded, and He will make us pay on that day. So the other person comes, and he said, he swore at me. I'm giving you these examples. Okay, give him good deeds. Other person would come, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me, and so on. So many people will come and they will keep asking, so much so that all his good deeds are gone. He is empty now, right? But he still has to pay some more people. They keep coming. Now Allah Ta'ala will say, how will you pay? Take their bad deeds. So he came with good deeds, he's ending up with taking their bad deeds. So he's taking now bad deeds from other people, and ultimately he will be thrown in the fire of hell.
Ya Rahman.
Allahu Akbar. You see, he came with good deeds, but he was not protecting his good deeds. And this is where Huquq al-Ibad comes in. Huququllah is our connection with Allah, our relationship with Allah, our rights which Allah has over us. That is up to Allah Ta'ala. He can forgive if He wants, or He can punish if He wants. Okay? That is between you and Allah. Nobody else is involved. But where people are involved, then as I said, Allah Ta'ala will not forgive unless and until those people forgive. And this is why we say in nights like Shab-e Barat, okay, Ramadan is coming up. It is time to mend our relationship, first with Allah and then also with the people of Allah. Al-Khalqu ayalullah, that these khalq, the people are the family of Allah. Okay? The people whom we don't consider, the people whom we hurt, they are all family of Allah. If you hurt them, indirectly you are taking the displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so we've got to be very careful the way we behave. So, mend your relationships with people. Fulfill their rights. Where rights are talked about, first right is our parents. Is that right? Our relationship with our parents, only we know. I come from England, and there are so many problems our youth face with parents. The parents come to us, and they say, our children don't listen to us. They have this attitude, and they answer back, and they raise their voices. They don't obey. What shall we do? And I tell those children that, look, maybe your parents are unreasonable sometimes. Okay, sometimes parents are unreasonable, right? Maybe they are unreasonable. But for you, everything depends on your parents. If your parents are happy, if at a particular time you want to know if Allah is happy with you, all you need to see is my mom and dad happy with me? If your parents are happy with you, Allah is happy with you. If your parents are unhappy with you, Allah is not pleased with you. So right now you want to know, ask yourself, is my mother happy with me? Is my father happy with me? Do we have this loving relationship? Or have I not seen for days? We have instances where parents and their children live in the same street, and the mother passed away, and I went to sit there, and I asked their son, when was the last time you saw your mother? He said, last week. I said, you live in the same street, and you never saw her for the entire week? Oh, I got busy and this and that, and now he's crying. I said, when you had the time to go and see her, why didn't you knock on her door every morning or every evening and just look at her face? You look at the face of your mother, your father, there is a sawab of Hajj in your namayama.
Subhanallah.
Why are we missing out on this? Okay? And if your parents might be unhappy with you, but believe me, just like Allah Ta'ala, without giving any similarities, if you say sorry to your parents, they will forgive you. You just need to say sorry. Just say sorry. I said to a bunch of kids at Shab-e Barat that, you know what, if you are not talking to your parents, if you are not in good terms with your parents, right now, just write a text in the masjid, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Dad. And you see, in their heart, they would have already forgiven you. And if they forgive you, Allah will also forgive you.
Subhanallah.
If they are happy, Allah Ta'ala is also happy. I mean, this is just one example, right? Parents and children. This relationship needs to be very carefully taken care of. I mean, even parents, don't be too harsh on your children. We're just talking on the way here. Your teenage children you're having problems with, nurture them, but don't be too harsh with them, or they'll break. They'll go the other way, and they won't come back. You need to be very understanding and be very patient. And a father's dua is like the dua of a prophet. So never give up on your children. Some say he's a gone case. He's never coming back. She's never coming back. I have given up on her. And I have nothing to do with her. You as a parent saying this? Noor-UL-Haram was teaching his children all his life. Is that right? All his life. Even when the floods came, he is having a dialogue with his son. And he is telling his son that, look, better come with me in the ark or you're going to perish, you're going to drown. Okay? And he said, no, I'm going to go on the mountain. Now, sometimes parents blame themselves. Maybe I am doing something wrong. That is why my children is like this. It's not like that. Sometimes you would be doing the right thing still. If there is no hidayah in your children's nasib, then this is how they're going to be. Is there anything wrong that Noor-UL-Haram would have done? No, he's a prophet. Okay? But his own children, his own son did not listen to him. And as they were talking and he said, I'm going to go on the mountain, and a wave came and swept him away. Okay? So don't blame yourself. But what this story tells us, keep trying till the last moment. You never know when Allah Ta'ala will give you hidayah. So never give up on the children, on your children. This is just about children. Then if you come to your family, okay? We are so good outside, but our family has rights. We live in a culture, we say the customer service culture, where we have to smile and serve. Is that right? We always have to smile with customers, with clients. We have to smile and serve. We fake smile so much during the day, by the time we reach home, we have ran out of all the smiles. Now what is left for your wife, what is left for your children is the grumpiness. We go home so miserable. We go home in such a state, go away, I've had a bad day. But when did you have a good day then? Every day is a bad day for you. Your children come to you, you say, I'm very busy today, don't come to me today. Your wife comes, what shall I make? Just make whatever you want, don't come to me. Why? Because you had a bad day. You were so good with people outside that there is no goodness left for you for the people inside the home who really matter to you. And what did the Prophet ﷺ say? The best amongst you is the one who is best to your family. But we are best outside. We are best with all the people outside, but not best at home. Because your family, your parents, your children, we take them for granted. Where are they going to go? Ye to hamare hi hai na, kahan jayenge? We are okay with our managers outside, with our colleagues outside, but we are not okay to people whom we matter. Be good outside, but be even more good inside the house. These are their rights. Okay? And if we don't fulfill these rights, then they are going to hold us accountable, and they will be in our way to Jannah. We want to go to Jannah, but these people will come and they will stop us, and we will be giving our deeds. So we need to really understand, we need to have a deeper understanding of what this deen requires from us. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala requires from us. It is stated, the Prophet ﷺ said, in fact Allah Ta'ala said, that whatever the Prophet gave you, take it. There is goodness. مَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. Whatever the Prophet ﷺ gave you, take it. Whatever he stopped you from, stay away from it. Okay? We were talking yesterday again, where say, if a doctor says something to us, don't do this, we listen. But the same thing we say that this is sunnah, we don't tend to listen. Is that right? If a doctor tells someone, sit down and drink water, yeah, they will always remember. All their life, the teacher at the mosque said, sit down and drink. They don't want to listen. Who is more important to you? The doctor or the doctor of the doctors, the best healer in the world, who is Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we need to create this mindset in our children. When you hear that Allah said it, accept it. When you hear the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it, accept it. And that is what our life should be. As a Muslim, we should be submitting to Allah. And this is the definition of a Muslim, the one who submits to the will of Allah and to the will of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah. May Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq to be true Muslims. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala give us the ability to submit ourselves to Muslims. Alhamdulillah. I would just like to announce we do a lot of activities back in UK. I'm sure there are loads of activities happening here too. But people are always looking for English speakers in Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And we have a lot of English speakers who relay live, stream live. So we've got a channel called SDI Media. Mufakir Islam will be on it too, inshallah. SDI Media is on YouTube, and there's a lot of activities and programs which are relayed live, inshallah. So again, for our younger generation, when they're looking for English speakers or English activities, they can log on to there, and inshallah they will hopefully see a lot and hear a lot, and hopefully they will be guided. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq. Wa akhiru da'wana.
ترجى شفاعته لكل هول من الأهوال مقتحم هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته لكل هول من الأهوال مقتحم يا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصد